Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Four Stars Chicago Sports and a happy Thanksgiving. I know it's late, but we still want to say happy Thanksgiving. Come right back. We're going to get into the Bears in the city of brotherly love right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago's.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the holiday edition, the Black Friday edition of the Kickoff Show, Four Stars Chicago Sports. And as we said yesterday, we are thankful for our family, our friends, and everybody who has made Four Stars Chicago Sports become Four Stars Chicago Sports. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you guys so very, 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 very much. And Thanksgiving couldn't have played out any better for the Chicago Bears because no matter what happens today in Philadelphia, the Bears and that team from up north will square off for first place in the NFC North next Sunday, 3:25 on national television. But before we get to that, let's get into these injury reports, talk a little bit about how the Bears can pull the upset as they come into this game. 7-point underdogs. The Bears got a little healthier with the returns of one Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. We will see them on the football field for the second and third time. I think they've combined only played 2 quarters of football this season. But as we get healthy, addition by subtraction, the linebacker room is still pretty empty. No Edwards, no Ruben Hippolyte, no Noah Sewell. And we all talked the other day about what are we going to do when these guys come back? Does Nahshon Wright still have a spot? Well, he certainly does, because as you see on that injury report, there will be no Tyreek Stevenson for the Chicago Bears today in Philadelphia. Boys, how we doing? Kyle, Brandon, how was your Thanksgiving as we kick this show off?
It was good, man. Just spent time with the family. Let's eat some good food. How about you, man?
Oh, it was relaxing. It was relaxing. And as much as I wanted the Lions to win that game, it kind of just adds the spiciness the next Sunday. I thought the officiating yesterday during football was absolutely egregious on a few plays. I don't know how the Lions got away, or the Packers got away with that timeout call, and then Fox comes back and was like, well, they must have heard him calling the timeout after they just said the stadium's so loud they couldn't hear anything, so that's why they didn't hear him. That was absolutely abysmal by the officials yesterday. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on that was, but that was just brutal, man. You can't do that in NFL football games, dude. It just makes it look rigged to me.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just par for the course, man, right? I mean, you haven't been good all year. We've talked about this all year, and then you get these national games where everybody in the world's watching, and then it's highlighted. This is something that's been happening all season. Even the DeAndre Hopkins pass yesterday, the one catch he had all game, clearly he pushed off. The refs ignored it. They did the same thing when they played the Bears, and he grabbed Nahshon Wright's face mask and turned his head. They ignored it. It's just like, it seems like, I don't know necessarily, because the Ravens ended up ultimately losing that game, but it seems like the refs are starting to favor certain players in the NFL. So it looks like what's happening to me.
But the Packers call,
The
Packers call is something. I mean, that call was made at such a pivotal moment in that football game. That might have turned the tides on who won that game.
Yeah.
The Packers had just gotten a penalty that was going to push them back 5 yards from the 1 yard line. They were going to clearly take a field goal, because that would have been, the right thing. I would assume that LaFleur was going to take a field goal if he was on the 6 instead of the 1. They end up scoring a touchdown because of that. And it looked like the refs responded in real time like fans, Sean. Like, what? They called a timeout? Like they were like, nobody knew. And they were like, oh, yeah, they called a timeout. It's like, well, wait, you guys were just finding this out like the rest of us. So how do you know for a fact? And when they reshowed the replay, man, that lineman, that guard jumps like 4 seconds before Matt LaFleur's even in the shot. Like, what are you talking about, man? It's not even close. They kept looking at it like, and then finally, who was it? Joe Buck, I think, was doing it. Was like, okay, yeah, no, this is a penalty. He moves before, and I was like, I mean, you didn't have to look at it more than once. I don't understand how this call got so
I
botched.
also don't believe, and you know what, they couldn't have overturned it because there probably wasn't enough evidence, and they already called it a touchdown. But the Wicks touchdown on the left hash, I don't think he has control of that
I'll
football when
take
his
that. I'll take
when his
that.
first foot is down. That
I'll
football
accept
is
that
moving.
call
The
a
football is
lot more
moving.
before the
I'll tell
penalty
you
was
this.
egregious.
Dustin said he saw it in real time. I'll tell you this. I mean, you can just go down X. About 95% of the world did not believe that was a catch. I'm sorry.
The ball's
The rule
moving.
is you have to. It has to
the
come
ball's
all the way
moving.
through. As he's going out of bounds, the ball's moving and he's bringing it back to his chest. That's not completing the process.
If you're looking at the stitches on the football and it's spinning, that means he does not have control of the football. And when he lifts his first foot up, he makes that catch. He's got 1 foot down. He lifts his first foot up. The ball is still spinning and moving around in his hands. And then he gets his second foot down, and then he doesn't get the first foot down again. He steps out of bounds. To me, that's not a catch. And even if I was a Bears fan, I'd be like, the Bears just got to. If the bad happens to the Bears, I'm just saying the Bears just got away with one right there, man. That was not a catch.
Well,
it is what it is, guys. I mean, at some point, the NFL is going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to do something about the officiating. I mean, they're going to have to make this like done by AI or something, because the human error is always going to be an aspect of sports with umpires and officials, but it's getting bad, guys. I mean, I don't want to change the subject, but there was a call in a Bulls game, I think it was a couple of days ago, where they kicked one of the Bulls out of the game for absolutely nothing at all. Like absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Kyle Herter.
Yeah, Kevin Huer gets kicked out of the game for
Kevin
nothing.
Herter.
He didn't do it. He just rolls the ball to the ref, and the ref's not looking, so it hits him.
Yeah, like literally tapped him in the back of the leg, dude.
And they kick him out of the game. And it happened to be, Sean, we talked about it all year in baseball, right? How bad the umpires were at the home plate. I mean, it's just the whole thing is starting to feel kind of sketchy.
You guys think there's any possibility?
I agree, Mikey. I was looking at that too.
How about you make it a sports-wide conversation, Kyle?
It really is.
Possibility that they'll increase the odds of human error to make fans more accepting of the inevitable results that AI will officiate all of these things?
Well,
because people don't want AI, people want human error. They want home umps. But do you think after this mistakes, game in and game out in every sport, people are going to be like, might as well go to the computer, man. It's not going to be fucking it up.
You want to know what's going to happen here is if it works in baseball with these automated umpires, it might transfer over to some other sports, finding a way to correct.
That's what I'm saying. And is this the best way? Is this the best way to make the fans want that? Because fans right now, I don't think want that. Well, I don't think any fan wants the entirety of sports to be based on computers.
Trying to postpone as much as they can, because baseball, before they implement the electronic strike zone, they're going to implement 2 challenges for the coaches to challenge 2 different strike or ball calls. But I mean, if they're missing 19 pitches a game, what are 2 going to do? Like, maybe I guess you save those challenges for the 9th inning when they're important, when they're missing these calls. But I feel like they're pushing it off as long as they possibly can, because let's face it, man, these guys are all buddy. They all know, all the owners and the Roger Goodell's friends with the refs. And if they make it automatic and they make it AI, then they're all going to lose their jobs. I don't think they want that. But you guys, here we are the day after Thanksgiving, and we're not talking about how amazing football was yesterday and how great it was to watch. We're talking about how shitty the officiating was. I mean, that's not good. That's not acceptable. That's not a good product.
Oh, speaking of which, I hope everybody had a Thanksgiving, guys. Everybody in the chat, everybody who joins us today.
And absolutely, Kyle, as you say that Zay Flowers touchdown should have been a touchdown, and that changes the complexion of that game as well. I mean, he barely just stuck his hand out to see how far the defender was. He didn't push off him. I mean, he barely touches him, and that's pass interference now.
Isaiah likely fumbled that game away too, man.
Yeah, but you add that touchdown in, and it's a 6-point game late in that ball game. Like, even with the intercept or the fumble, things are happening. I just don't like it. And to Kyle's point, because he's been bringing this up and been on this for quite some time, it seems as it's become more egregious the more that FanDuel and DraftKings and all these people have been involved in sports. It's getting worse. And I don't know if there's a correlation between the two, but it seems awful fishy to me. I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, man, there's certain plays where we look at each other, we're sitting next to each other watching the game, like the DeAndre Hopkins pass interference on Nation Wright, where it's like, there's no way that could be missed. There's absolutely no way in shape or form that there's not a single official on the field. I mean, the officials all have to watch the ball. That's their job. You always watch the ball. Wherever the ball goes, you have one guy who watches the offensive line. The rest of the officials watch the ball. So if you're watching the ball and that ball's being passed to DeAndre Hopkins, how are you not seeing him grab Nation Wright's face mask and turn his head? I mean, it's physically impossible, guys. It's physically impossible. So what's keeping that flag in his pocket? Why at that exact moment is he like, you know what? That was probably clearly pass interference, offensive pass, but I'm not going to throw the flag. That starts to make me think, are you officiating the game or are you officiating the spread?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And I'm not saying they're throwing games, but I think they're keeping these games close.
It looks that way.
I do think we should talk about the result of that football game yesterday. And I put this on the radar a couple of weeks ago. I think it was about 2 weeks ago on the Monday show. The Bears are in a position here, guys, especially now with the Packers being the team that's closest on their tail. They're going to play that team twice. The Bears can win this division strictly based on their own schedule. This is not you need this team to lose and that team to do this and these guys got it.
They're 8-3.
The Bears' fate is in their hands. They play the two teams in their division that are closest behind them, and they play one of them twice. They win those 3 divisional games, guys. They have 6 games left, 3 of them in the division. If they win those 3 divisional games, the Bears win the division.
Well, I'll put it this way, Brandon, because as a true story as that is, we learned one valuable lesson about Jordan Love yesterday. The Detroit Lions let him sit back there. They had 0 sacks, 3 pressures in the ball game yesterday. And
you didn't take the ball away. You got to take the ball away. Jordan Love's going to lose if you take the ball away.
You can't let him sit he was comfortable in the pocket, scanning the field, going through his progressions, and then going back through his progressions, and then finding the spot.
Christian Watson is a good player, man. That guy either needs to get injured again, or you got to have to pay attention to that kid when he's playing, because when he plays like a 6'5", 215-pound guy.
Well, you know one thing about Christian Watson,
who runs like a 4.3.
He'll be hurt.
He'll be on the IR report for sure. At some point.
He'll be hurt soon enough.
If the way the Bears season has gone, he absolutely will. Everybody seems to be on IR when the Bears play.
Well, don't forget the Packers took a huge loss because Devonta Wyatt doesn't look like he'll be playing in this game next Sunday, being carted off the field. And he's a big middleman that clogs up that middle for the Packers. That is a tremendous loss that could elevate the Bears' run game next week. But before we get to next week, let's get into this one. The Bears are heading into the city of brotherly love with an impressive 8-3 record, currently still sitting atop the NFC North. This is going to be an absolutely tough matchup for the Chicago Bears today. You know, we've talked about this ad nauseum. Williams has completed 59.2% of his passes on the season. He's 19th in adjusted EPA per play and 25th in success rate. His production also has a stark split when you look at it. He's 3rd against man. He's 21st against zone. The Eagles primarily play a zone defense. So, boys, here's our first stumbling block. How does the man that's ranked 21st against zone, how does Ben Johnson and the Bears offense come away with a victory for him and beat this zone, which he has struggled with, obviously 12 weeks in, being 21st in the league? Kyle, kick it off, man.
You got to run the ball, Sean. You got to run the ball. If you want to make these safeties and linebackers play up a little bit, the Bears have to successfully run the ball. And listen, I know, guys, everybody in the chat, I know everybody listening is probably like, oh yeah, man, football 101. You have to be able to run the ball and stop the run. But that is the key to the game here. I mean, you guys, I don't know if you've noticed or not, and we'll get into the Bears defense and the Eagles offense later, I'm sure, but the more that these teams prevent Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts from running and keep them in that pocket, the more that these guys struggle. I mean, you saw it yesterday. You saw Lamar Jackson was not good at passing the ball. You've seen Josh Allen all year struggle at passing the ball, especially when they don't have any weapons. Eagles are a different breed because they have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, so it's easier for them to complete passes. But You have to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket, and you have to run the ball. You have to make these long drives, long drawn out methodical drives. That's how you beat the Philadelphia Eagles. You just keep them off the field, and the Bears are going to have to find a way to get a good push in the interior offensive line and keep Kyle Monangai beating up the interior of that defensive line, and then get DeAndre Swift in open space. I don't know what's going on with DeAndre Swift right now, guys. I don't know why this guy has been non-existent in the offense over the last couple weeks. I don't know if it's an injury or something, but you need to see a lot more of DeAndre Swift today. A lot more. He needs to be on the field a lot. What's going on, guys?
Yo,
Oh man!
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
How we doing?
Oh, we're living the dream. we
Everybody
might
had
be
a good
living the
day?
dream if we can beat Philadelphia.
I mean, you might be dreaming if that happens. We'll see. We'll see. This is my
there are
brother
some-
Nick. He joins our chat sometimes. I'm at his house. Wanted to jump on for a minute and there's Lonnie.
What's up,
Hey,
Nick?
where's Mila, the Oracle?
She's coming. Don't worry.
Okay,
We'll
I was
get her
going to say we need the Oracle on here,
Yeah.
Dustin.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So we were just
What's
talking
up,
about
Nick?
Caleb Williams' struggles against zone defense. What do you think? Obviously, the Eagles play a lot of zone defense. How do you think Ben Johnson adjusts?
Man, it's gonna be tough against those cornerbacks. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, those guys are just really, really good. And you're gonna have to spread that team out. And Caleb's gonna have to be smart. He's gonna have to make some good decisions for sure and find the soft spots in those zones. But I mean, I could see Caleb having a rough day today, but still finding ways to make some plays. I mean, from my perspective, guys, Caleb has to have an awesome game for the Bears to have a chance to win this game. Like Caleb has to have his best game of the season. That's
100% agree with that.
This team is solid against the run too. This defense is just good all across the board. That defensive line is unbelievable. So I mean, like, can we establish the run and get Caleb working under center, get some play action, hit some of those deep shots? That's what it always comes down to for me.
Yeah, and they're ranked right now. I think the Eagles defense overall is ranked 18th against the run. They're allowing 115 rushing yards per game. But as Sean brought up in the studio, since Dean has been back, I think they're allowing something like 86 rushing yards per game. So they've definitely improved in that facet. The Eagles are not like, sometimes looking at the rankings and statistics doesn't always tell the whole story. The Eagles have definitely improved. Brennan, what do you think Caleb's going to have to do to win this game?
He's probably gonna have to extend some plays. He's gonna need some of that magic. I do think this offensive line, guy, is something that's being slept on. I know we talk about how good they've been week in and week. They improve week in and week out, and I think they're getting pretty elite. I thought during that Steelers game, Caleb looked pretty damn comfortable. I think this
One of the best offensive lines in football, Brandon.
and they're plugging pieces in. This is not the starting five we've had. I mean, you know what I mean? Guys were in and out of that game, and they still held up against a defensive front that I think is pretty solid in Pittsburgh. So I think Caleb just needs to trust his line, Kyle. And I you know, the one thing when I watched that Packers game against the Eagles, the Packers had a chance to win that game because Jordan Love in the second half was embracing checkdowns. Josh Jacobs had 5 receptions against the Eagles. Running backs don't have big receiving days against the Eagles. That's not a common thing, but the Packers found a working recipe, and it actually gave them the ability to start moving the ball. I think DeAndre Swift needs to catch the ball a lot.
Didn't the Packers score 7 points in that game?
Yeah, but Caleb
working
Williams,
recipe.
but Caleb, well, I mean, it was a 10-7 game. But Caleb Williams, and that's another thing I want to talk about, guys. We're gonna get into that too. But Caleb Williams has to be able to trust his check down. No looking for the big plays when something's right in front of you. I mean, this is gonna probably be the most important game for that in regards to Caleb Williams. Just taking what the defense gives you. Do not try to be a hero in this football game. This defense will make you pay for it. You take what you've got. Take what's in front of you. I don't care if it's a 3-yard reception. Take the damn play, dude. So you need positive yards. Can't move backwards in this game. What about you, Nick? Nick, what does Caleb? What does Caleb got to do in this game
today?
Yeah, I totally agree that Caleb is going to have to increase his level of play, be smart with the football, which he has been doing this year. I really just think it's going to come down to this Bears defense down the entire linebacking core, whether or not they're going to be able to stop the run, not just from Saquon Barkley, but from Jalen Hurts himself too. One thing we've seen over the year is that the Bears have struggled with running quarterbacks, and I just think that Jalen Hurts is going to have an opportunity to take over this game. So as much as it's about Caleb Williams today, I think it's about Jalen Hurts more than anything. We just saw the Eagles lose to the Cowboys, and they just watched the Cowboys beat Kansas City last night. So I think we're going to have a really motivated team led by a Vic Fangio defense and a quarterback that's going to be ready to run all over this depleted linebacking core from Chicago. So I don't have
Nick,
high prospects for this game at all.
and you're not. And the important thing about Jalen Hurts' running abilities, man, is, am I wrong, guys? Joe Buck said it a couple weeks ago, and it's not false. That's always what gets this offense going. It seems like the Eagles really struggle until Jalen Hurts is able to break one or two, even just 10 to 15-yard runs. And then they kind of impose their will. Once teams know that Hurts is willing to get out of the pocket and take the ball himself, that's when this Eagles offense becomes really, really lethal. And you'll notice in the games that Jalen Hurts isn't running the ball effectively, it really kind of stagnant. This Eagles offense, they depend on that, man.
Their passing
Bears
offense
need to
is
be
bad,
very
guys.
aware of that.
Their passing offense has been bad.
I'll give you a little. I'll give you a little key because I just had what's his name come in. Who was it? Mikey say he thinks the tight ends are going to have a big game in this day, and it would be interesting to see if the Bears can get Colston Loveland and Colt Kmet going in this game. Philadelphia is the second best team against tight ends in the entire NFL. They've allowed
Buffalo
2
Nuggets.
touchdowns.
Their linebackers and
studs.
safeties are really good.
Well,
Their linebackers are like all pro players.
Not only that, as Nick pointed out here, stopping that rushing quarterback. I brought that up almost every single week on here. The Bears have a problem with that, but I'm telling you guys, forgetting one key cog, the straw that really stirs the drink for Philadelphia is Dallas Goedert. When that dude is having a good game, the offense is flowing for Philadelphia. Just go look at the box scores. When his box score is up, Philadelphia's offense is up. What have the Bears struggled with?
Catches touchdowns.
Running quarterbacks, tight ends on the season. The Bears, again, last week, and I believe it's almost every single week this season, they've given up a receiving touchdown to a tight end in a critical moment in a football game. And Dallas Goedert, I don't think will be any different today. I don't know if the Bears have a matchup for him with DeMarco Jackson and or whoever they're going to fly out against him today. Maybe Kyler Gordon.
Let me throw this out there. Because Kyler Gordon being back and Jalen Johnson being back opens you up to play 3 safeties with Byard, Brisker, and CJ Gardner-Johnson in that third safety role. If you put Gordon back into that nickelback role, that's the Bears' only chance today defensively, I think. You need those guys' versatility against that tight end because he scores touchdowns.
Yeah, and the one other thing they were saying is that Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon could very well be on snap counts today, so that could also play a factor when they're used and how they're deployed.
Yeah, the rotation, the way they
shouldn't even play, man. If they're on a snap count, just give them another week. Why you keep doing this? I prolong an injury, man. I'm going to be pissed.
I agree with Sean. I mean, you have to force Jalen Hurts to stand in the pocket and throw the ball. You have to. You absolutely have to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. If you let him start sneaking out like they did Jackson Dart in the second half of the third quarter against the Giants, and he's just ripping off huge chunk gains like Jackson Dart was, the Bears don't stand a chance in this game. They don't stand a chance. If Jalen Hurts is allowed to run it well, then the Bears do not stand a chance. That is the Achilles heel for the Chicago Bears right now, and that's how the Philadelphia Eagles win football games.
And the Eagles know that, Kyle. The Eagles know that they're going to be trying to run with Hurts.
Yeah, and then they don't care if it's Saquon or Jalen. They don't care as long as they keep ripping off chunk gains in the run game. They're going to beat you, and the Bears are going to have to find a way to. I'm sure you guys. I'm going to assume that, like Dustin, like you said with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the Bears are going to have some sort of a spy on Jalen Hurts, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to stop him from running the football.
No.
You know, too, with Mitchell and DeJean locking up Moore and Odunze, Dustin, you know where I'm going with this. Could this finally be the day where they pepper Luther Burden?
I can't get there, man, because DeJean is going to be the guy that's matched up on Burden a lot. So? I think so. Yeah. I mean, well, DeJean is your nickel cornerback by all intents and purposes, right? And Burden's going to be in the slot a lot. It depends on how Ben Johnson wants to attack this thing. I think you got to find those deep plays in this game. Caleb's got to be accurate with the deep ball, and they got to have some well-designed stuff. Now, if they move Burden around a little bit and they can get him on the outside, you can find a matchup. But, I mean, the secondary is just good across the board, man. I'm really concerned about this Bears passing game today. I think if you don't establish the run, then you're not going to have a passing game, and this game's going to get ugly quick, man. Yeah. Listen, this Bears team has been a lot of fun, and they continue to find ways to win. I am concerned about this game deeply. I go back to yesterday, what we were talking about, guys. We were watching that Detroit Green Bay game, and it's like, can the Bears match up in this kind of game? Do you think the Bears would be hanging in this kind of game, trading two heavyweights, trading punches? And it's like, the Eagles are a Super Bowl champion team. They've drafted and developed their guys. They're years ahead of the Bears in terms of where they're at versus where the Bears are at. And it's like, it's not crazy to think like they're just a better team than the Bears. And that's going to show in a short week with the Eagles at home, with the talent they have. It's like, and that's okay. My hope is just that the Bears make this game competitive. You see Ben Johnson find some ways to exploit this defense and get this offense going. Because, like I said, you guys know the defense, the linebackers is rough. The pass rush is not really getting there. So, I mean, if those things aren't happening, the Eagles are going to score points. So you got to score points as well. These cornerbacks being back, I think you supplement your linebacker spot with C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Well,
with that third safety role.
With Lane Johnson being out, this should be a prime spot for the right side or left side of the line to take advantage of this backup and get some pressure on Jalen Hurts. So that's really big. I want to ask you guys this.
Well, it's going to be Matt Pryor.
I want to ask you guys this and just drop this, dude. The Eagles have covered the spread in 9 of their 12 home games. They're winners of 15 of their last 16 straight up at Lincoln Financial. And this is even more impressive. Jalen Hurts is holding a perfect 19-0 record straight up against teams above 500 at Lincoln Financial. The Bears are 1-3 when they don't take away the ball more than one time this season. And the Eagles have only given up the ball 6 times, 2 times last week, 4 times prior going into.
Hurts has 1 interception, Sean.
Yes. So when the Eagles are really good at the Bears' strength, how do the Bears win this game without taking the ball away? Because when the Bears don't take the ball away, they are 31st in defensive ranking when they do not take the ball away. None of this spells victory for the Chicago Bears. Tell me how we spell victory with these things against them.
Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon are worth a couple more stops. I think you're going to get a couple more third down. The Bears are really efficient on third down. You just got your best football player on your team back.
100%.
I think the Bears are going to get off the field on some third downs because of the additions of Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson.
Well, on top of that, I mean, the Eagles are averaging 193 passing yards a game. They don't pass the ball a lot, and that's the reason that Jalen Hurts only has 1 interception, because he's not asked to put the ball in danger.
Not a lot of attempts.
He averages about 22 pass attempts.
If you want to force him to throw the ball, you have to keep Jalen, like Nick said, don't let him out of the pot. Don't let him sneak. And I know that's tough, man. That's easier said than done, but the Bears have to find a way to slow down the run and make the Eagles pass the ball. That's the only way the Bears can win this game, because then you probably can force Jalen Hurts to make a mistake and maybe take the ball away, especially with Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, and Nashawn Wright all back there. I mean, that is the strength of this football team when they're all healthy, is the secondary. So if the Bears are going to win this football game, they need to force Jalen Hurts to make poor decisions. And if the Eagles can just run the ball and gain 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a clip, they're not going to throw the ball. They're just going to continue to run the ball down the Bears' throat. That's what they want to do, like Justin said. That is the plan for the Eagles coming in this game, is run the ball down the Chicago Bears' throats. So if the Bears want to win this game, you need to make Jalen Hurts pass the ball. You absolutely have to make Jalen Hurts pass the ball. He's not Sean, you've been saying this for how long now? Jalen Hurts is a winner. He's a winner. He wins football games, but he's not by any means necessary an amazing passer in the NFL. He's not.
Caleb is a better thrower of the football.
Not even a question.
100%.
Not even a question. Not
100%.
Not a question.
And here, I just want to get this out here on the record for all of us. Relentless Mikey is calling 2 takeaways for the Chicago Bears today. 2 fumbles, not interceptions. You're on the Bucks. You're on the books, Mikey.
He called the Byard interception. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? He's been making some good calls in our chat, man.
Hey, I'm ready for
you guys. James says only Caleb could beat the Eagles. Feedback says not sustainable winning formula. Defense is far too leaky in many areas. The turnover differential has been the biggest reason to negate poor play. Yeah, 100%. The turnovers have made the Bears defense look better than they've actually been playing. Not a question about it. And if the Eagles play fundamentally, now you guys remember the Eagles are averaging 8 penalties a game, which puts them like almost dead last in the NFL. So they do make mistakes.
I thought that like 7 weeks ago. This is not a sustainable way to win football games. You're not going to take the ball away at this rate. You're not going to win games in the last drive every time. They've done it for 7 weeks. Seems to be
Not
sustainable.
against the Eagles.
Seems to be sustainable for this football team.
Yeah, but
Not
now it's
against
good
the Eagles.
competition.
It's
This
not.
is a different breed, man. This team is
I
9-2
still
on the
like the
season.
Bears in a 1-score game. I do.
Oh,
That
if
will
they can
never
keep
change.
it there. If they can
Yeah.
keep it there. Listen, me and Nick got to get going. I got to hit the road and get back to Chicago. I got work today, but I want Nick to get his prediction out, and I want to get mine out before we jump
let's
off.
hear
Yeah,
it.
and Nick, give us a matchup to watch in this game too.
Yeah, I think for me the matchup to watch, when me and Dustin were watching that Lions Packers game, and we noted the clear elevation in class between where the Bears are now and where those organizations are. Where that's going to manifest today is not on defense or offense. I'm going to be watching how we perform on special teams. Are we going to be giving up the long kick returns, the long punt returns? Because that's, to you guys' point about keeping it a one-score game, that's where I see some challenges, because these better teams, they're better across all three phases. And if there's one phase of this football team that we've seen kind of bite us in the butt week after week, it's on the special teams. So
Good
Been better the
point.
last 2 weeks.
it has been better the last 2 weeks, but that's where I kind of see the jump in class really manifesting and showing itself today, is in that third phase there, special teams. So that's what I'm going to be watching. That's, as long as they don't give up the big kick return, then they have a chance to keep it a one-score game.
Cairo Santos is going to kick a few field goals today, probably.
Or he'll miss a couple field goals too.
Well, I said kick. I didn't say make. I said kick. I didn't
Yeah.
say make.
Yeah, he'll kick. He will kick it. Where it goes, that's.
He's been one of the most accurate kickers in Bears history.
He is, but we
Doesn't have the leg.
I don't.
He
I
doesn't
don't
have
feel.
the
I'm
leg
with you, Nick. I don't feel good
outdoors.
about
So
it.
that's what I'm going to be watching today. Final prediction for the score: I got the Bears losing by more than 2 scores. I've got it at 34-23 Eagles today.
Damn, I like it. Listen,
I can't
Good
argue
job.
with it.
Do the Eagles have Devontae Smith?
Devonta Smith. Oh, I got their injury report
he's-
right here. Let's see.
They're both banged up. Saquon's
Devonta was
banged up
full
too.
practice.
Yeah,
Full
they're
practice
both-
on Friday.
They're
I know
both
he was
playing. They're
limited
just
all
banged
week.
up.
He was limited for 2 days, but he's also got 3 injuries, or 2: shoulder, chest, and a sickness. But you know what? I hope he has the worst day. I'm facing him in all 3 fantasy leagues, for Christ's sake.
Devontae Smith is one of those receivers that gets off on the Bears, guys. This Bears
God, I hope
defense is
not.
going to be susceptible to that speed. That's going to be a problem. When I was watching yesterday's games, the thing that stood out to me was Jordan Love can be a much maligned quarterback, but when he plays the way he did yesterday, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and that team is really hard to beat. He made A+ throws the whole game. Caleb needs to make A+ throws, and I don't know
say
how.
the whole game, but he made
He made 10 really big ones, Sean. 10 ones that he made the final throw that won that game and sealed it. Take it easy, man. He played well. He played well. And if Caleb can play like that, and there are similarities between Jordan Love and Caleb in terms of not always being the most accurate quarterbacks, but when they're on, they are hard to stop. Caleb needs to be that today for the Bears to have a chance, man. It's going to be tough in my mind. I think the Eagles are just a better football team. I've been thinking that this was a loss all year since the schedule came out, and that hasn't changed. And I'm kind of with Nick. I think it's going to be a hard game for the Bears to win. I'm hoping that they keep it close, like a 27-24, 27-21, where the Bears can at least be in it with a chance. But I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be like a 28-17 game. I think the Bears are going to have a hard time scoring points. I think they're going to have a hard time stopping the Eagles. I really hope I'm wrong, guys, but I think the shoe's about to drop on this, and the Bears need a little adversity right now anyways as the season goes on. Yeah, something to learn from and build off of, and I don't see them beating the Eagles today, guys.
Did you
Short
guys
week
see
at
that?
a weird time on a Friday. That's just strange, man, on the road.
Did you guys see that AI thing that predicted the Bears record this year game by game? And right now it is spot on, and it has them losing to the Eagles and Packers and then winning out for the rest of the season. Right now it has predicted every single game correctly. Every single one.
Listen, I
Yeah,
could see the
every
Bears
single one.
losing to the Packers on the road. I mean, the way that Packers team played yesterday is going to be hard for anybody to beat them. And this Eagles team, whether you their offense, their passing game has been elementary and it's been rough, Kyle, as you said. If the Bears can win in the passing game today, they have a puncher's chance, and it'll be fun to see. But like
Justin,
this Bears defense sucks against the pass, guys.
question for you and your brother before you guys skip down here. Saquon Barkley has 1 game over 100, 2 games over 80, so 3 games total. over 80 yards this season. Does he make it a fourth today against the Bears?
Yes. This Bears run defense is not good, guys. They're the worst yards per carry in the league still. They're the worst yards per carry against in the league still. That has not changed. This Bears defense bends a lot, and then it gets the turnover. And as you said, Sean, if they don't get turnovers, they don't stand a chance in this game. And this Eagles team is very safe with the football.
Do you not think that Kyler Gordon?
Kyler Gordon does make a difference.
Limit that running game just a little bit.
I think I'm going to take the opposite side of Dustin here. I think he's under. He doesn't get that fourth game, and my point was going to be.
You said 80 yards?
80 yards, yeah. I think he's under 80 yards.
That's easy.
I think the return of Kyler Gordon, and then we have Kyler Gordon and C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the field at the same time. I think there's opportunities for DA to get creative and come up with some run-stop blitzes that'll stymie Saquon Barkley, but that brings in, the other part of the conversation we had with, the Bears selling out to stop Saquon, and then Jalen Hurts runs the ball down their throat after that. So
Yeah.
I think you can see Saquon hit that 80 mark, and you can see Hurts hit that 50 mark.
Yeah,
I think you can see both.
We have a question from the chat here, guys. Shannon says, "Is TJ
No,
Edwards?"
they're both out.
Edmonds is on IR. Shannon, he's not.
Yeah,
out for a long time.
Edmonds is eligible to return for the second Packers game.
Yeah, he will not be back for a while. All right, guys. Happy
Gentlemen,
Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Nick, nice to see you, man.
Nick,
Hey,
nice
good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on. Just wanted to say before I jump off, love what you guys are doing. I jump in the chat as much as I can, as much as the work schedule allows. So I'm a big fan. Keep it up, and happy to come on anytime you want.
We appreciate you,
that,
man.
man. Thank you.
Yeah, come on and join us.
Hey,
on
you
a
did a
bare
great
minimum,
job
brother.
today too.
All right, guys. Appreciate
All right.
y'all.
Yeah.
Have a good
Let's
one,
roll
brother.
out.
Tear down.
Drive
Yeah,
safe.
boys.
So what do you guys think? Barkley over 80 or
Guys, sorry, I'm having an issue here. Let me get out.
don't end the show?
I think, man, those two guys up front have been really disappointing to me, man. I really, Dexter can kind of turn on the pass rush at times, but he seems lost. Billings is just a different player. It's just not the same guy. It's not the same guy that we signed a year ago, man. I don't know what happened, but I do see Barkley getting in between the tackles in this game, man. That offensive front on Philly is able to move you. I mean, we watch the tush push week in and week out, guys. Your defensive tackles against Philadelphia have to be two of your best players. These guys have to hold their ground. They can't get pushed back. They can't get run over. And I don't know that either one of these guys is a guy that I bet my pot. I just don't think that these guys can hold it. Like Dustin just said, this team, even with the takeaways, they're still allowing the most yards per carry. And for running backs, these guys are in the middle up front got to be better, dude. They got to be better.
Sean, I think he'll get to the 80, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be because Saquon Barkley's going to run over the Chicago Bears today. I think it's the same thing you saw with Kenneth Gainwell last week, right? Like Kenneth Gainwell had 90 yards rushing, but 50 of them were on one play, one single play. I don't think Saquon's going to average 8 yards a carry. I think the Bears are going to shut him down at times. There's going to be times where he just gets stacked up in the middle of that line, but I think he will squeak out a couple that will put him over that 80-yard mark. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Saquon's going to have an amazing game by any means necessary, but if he has one 30-yard run, then he needs 50 for the rest of the game, right? It's not that much to ask. Like I said, guys, there's something that really nobody talked about besides the beginning of the show here. I don't know what's going on with DeAndre Swift. This could be kind of like a revenge game for him, obviously, because Philadelphia kept him for 1 year, and then they decided to move on and sign Saquon Barkley. I think DeAndre Swift has to have a big game today. I think the Bears have, like Vernon talked about earlier, take what the defense gives you. DeAndre Swift is perfect in that regard. If you can dump the ball off DeAndre Swift and give him an open space, DeAndre Swift's one of the most dangerous players on the Chicago Bears. Outside of Luther Burden, he might be the best player in the Bears in open space. So if the Bears can find holes in the zone defense, soft spots, and get DeAndre Swift in open space, you need to utilize that as much as you possibly can. I don't know why the Bears have abandoned. DeAndre Swift was playing very well for a good 4, 5, 6 week stretch. He was actually a majority of the Bears offense for a couple of weeks, and then they kind of started to shy away from him and use Kyle Monangai more. I'm assuming that groin injury is probably bothering him. But if this week, if he is healthy, if he's back to healthy, Sean, was he on the injury report at all?
DeAndre Swift, I don't believe so.
I think he's like fully healthy now. They need to use him as much as they possibly can, man. DeAndre Swift is incredibly important to what Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears want to do, especially if you're talking about the play action. They need to use him as much as possible. It can't be one of those games where Kyle Monangai gets 19 carries and DeAndre Swift gets 11. That can't happen.
No.
DeAndre Swift is your most dangerous playmaker in the running back room. They need to get him involved early and often as possible.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the key is just running this ball and keeping Philadelphia's offense, tiring that defense. I know we've touched on this, but running the ball is how you're going to beat this team, plain and simple. I really, really hate the fact that Britton Brown was released. I thought I thought personally he had a lot more juice than Travis Homer. I know he only had the one opportunity, but the one opportunity turned into a 40-yard touchdown run. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of Travis Homer. I know they value him on special teams, but if Monangai or Swift get dinged up in this game and they're out and it's Travis Homer and Monangai or Travis Homer and DeAndre Swift, that's a definite downgrade for the Chicago Bears. I don't like the fact that you took a guy who looked like he had some explosiveness or just discarded him. I mean, hey, man, it's the coaching staff. You have to believe in them. You have to trust in them. I'm sorry. I don't know why this team has been so enamored over the past 4 years with this Travis Homer guy. I think he's a below average football player, man, just because he makes good tackles on special teams. I don't know, man. Very disappointing move for me, man. To lose.
Yeah, hey guys. James says Swift will not have a good game. Ant Mass says Carter. Does Carter make this revenge game?
That is my matchup.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
my matchup to
Jalen
watch.
Carter is probably not thinking about that draft anymore, guys. But yeah, I mean, he's just going to play well because he's Jalen Carter.
That's my matchup to watch.
He's always going
guys.
to be a problem.
Carter
Well, I'll say this.
Carter versus Drew Dolman.
The
Carter is the guy. Carter's the guy that initiates everything on that line. When Carter starts to break through that line, their edge rushers become more efficient. Carter is the anchor that keeps that thing moving forward. If he's getting into the back, if he's having a big day, you're just getting pressured by the Eagles. I think Jonah Jackson, Drew Dolman, and Joe Tooney are going to have their hands full. I think depending on how they respond to that, could make a big difference in this football game.
Well, I got a question for you guys, because if you watched that Dallas game yesterday, or the Dallas Eagles game last week, excuse me, what happened in that game? One guy took that game over, and that was George Pickens. George Pickens absolutely dominated them in the second half. Do the Bears have a wide receiver that can absolutely dominate this secondary? Because they went to Pickens, Pickens moved the ball, CeeDee Lamb was dropping the ball. There wasn't really anybody else on that team that was doing anything. Do the Bears have a single offensive player that can take over this game like George Pickens did against Philadelphia last week?
I don't know if they necessarily
is that player DeAndre Swift?
I don't know if they necessarily have an offensive player to take over the game, but I think the Bears collectively are a very dangerous team, because if you do decide to lock up Luther Burden and Rome Odunze, then DJ Moore is open. If you decide to lock up Rome Odunze and DJ Moore, then Luther Burden's open. And you got to worry about DeAndre Swift coming out of the backfield. Then you got to worry about Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet in the middle of the field. I mean, I think collectively the Bears have a team that can basically play with anybody at this point, guys. I mean, their offense, if Caleb can be more efficient in the pocket, the Bears offense is one of the most dangerous in the NFL. I mean, they have weapons all over the place. The question is Caleb going to be accurate enough today? Is he going to put the ball in the right places today?
Sean,
it's like Justin said, to make this a close game when it comes down to it at the end of the fourth quarter. That's, you guys, we haven't seen it the last couple of weeks. We haven't seen Caleb be accurate. We haven't seen him take what the defense gives him a lot. He has not. He's thrown, like you said, Sean. I don't think he's been above 60% for the last month of the season. I don't think he's thrown above 60%. He's got to be better than that today to beat a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. We already talked about it. This is a championship caliber team, guys. They've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. If the Bears want to beat this team, they need to play fundamentally sound, clean football. And they haven't been doing that, and they've been beating bad teams. Hopefully, maybe this game, guys, is kind of a wake-up call for the Bears, and they kind of turn the corner. Maybe this is the part of the season where he was like, hey, we want to get that 70% completion percentage. We'll be playing our best football in December. Well, it's November 28th. Maybe this is the game where the Bears the operation starts to look clean and doesn't look so clunky. And if they play to the best of their ability, I mean, you guys, this team has won 8 games and it's never looked clean, right? It's never looked perfect. If they can perfect it, if they can play like we know they're capable of playing, I think they can beat anybody, including the Philadelphia Eagles. But
I agree.
What can they do that? Can they play like that? That remains to be seen. We're going to find out.
Caleb's going to have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, guys. This game's going to have to be played outside the numbers. You're going to have to attack this defense with Rome Odunze and Luther Burden and DJ Moore outside. The Eagles do not give up the middle of the field. That's where Caleb throws. I think he's one of the highest percentages in the league at throwing in the middle of the field of all starting quarterbacks in the NFL. The Eagles are going to take that away. Between Dean, Bond, Campbell, you've got 3 close to all pro players on that linebacking core you're going to want to stay away from.
Yeah, but I
I
don't
think
know if any of those guys are
Nolan
gonna. I mean,
Smith
Colson
is
Loveland is
good
a hell
too.
of an athlete. Colson Loveland's going to find holes in the zone. There's going to be
I
times where
think
these
you're
guys are
better
on.
off just avoiding. I think you just want to try to beat these guys outside like George Pickens did last week. Like Sean says, man. I mean, if you can get Colston Loveland outside, he's a big-bodied guy. He's about the size of George Pickens. Maybe see if there's something there. But the middle of the field against this Philadelphia Eagles team is usually pretty locked down, man. Kyle, you did make a good point. Andrew McCuba's nursing something that will make a difference.
I think he's out
But
for the season. I think he had season-ending surgery. I don't think he's nursing. I think he's done.
Caleb's well, then he's still nursing it, but Caleb's gonna have to throw outside. He's gonna have to throw outside the numbers in this game.
All right, guys. Like I said, this game is kind of a conundrum to me. I think this is the toughest game to predict of all season. Sean, I don't know if you agree, but I honestly, and people keep saying DeAndre Swift's not going to do shit. DeAndre Swift's not going to be. He's not going to win it. I think getting DeAndre Swift in open space is going to be very important for the Chicago Bears today. I mean, when DeAndre Swift is playing well, the Bears are one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFL. If the run game is stopped, the Bears become very one-dimensional and they don't look as good. They need Kyle Monangai and DeAndre. Even if they're only averaging 3 yards a clip, guys, don't abandon the run. And Ben Johnson's done that in the past where they go down by 10 points and he's like, you know what? I'm done with the run game. I'm going to pass the ball. You can't do that today. Slow the game down. Slow it down because the Eagles can score and they can score fast.
Now, what are your guys' key matchups in this game? For me, I have 3, but we'll go around the table. I stated this earlier. Caleb's been a lead against man. Third in the league. He drops the 21st against zone. It's a big test for 18 and Ben to draw up a game plan to take advantage of that Philly zone. I believe getting the ball into the flats, getting the ball into Swift's hands, getting it into DJ Moore's hands, quick passes. Luther Burden, I think, could be a very effective weapon. I know everyone's putting Leveland in the chat. I'm going to, unless, like Brandon said, they get Leveland outside to the boundaries, they're going to eliminate him and Kmet in the middle of the field. So to me, this is a game into the flats, using some curl routes, end arounds, try and keep this defense on its toes. I just don't
think passes.
Yeah, screen passes. I'm with Brandon. I just don't think this is a game where the Bears are going to have a ton of success over the middle of the field against this stout defense of the Eagles. And honestly, one of the things I'm scared about the most is that Philadelphia defense realizing their collapse and them coming to play elite defense versus the Chicago Bears, because if they play at the top of their game, I'm very scared for what could happen to the Chicago Bears. Give me a key matchup, guys.
I'll go with the one I already stood, man. I think Jonah Jackson, Drew Dahlman, Joe Tooney against Jalen Carter is going to kind of dictate how this game is played at the line. If the Eagles are able to establish their dominance on the defensive front, the Bears are in trouble. I do, however, think that this offensive line is molding into one of the best in the league. I think they're a top 5 unit. I think they could be a top 3 unit by the time this season ends. This is the one unit, guys, on the Bears. No matter who the opponent is, they get better every week. They look more cohesive every week, no matter who's playing in. Dan Roshar seems to have this as a unit, which we haven't seen for years in this city. And no matter who's plugged in when necessary due to injuries, the unit remains. And that's impressive, man. And that is something that Caleb Williams will flock under. If this is something that continues to improve the way it has over the rest of the season, if Caleb is a guy that you leave time, he will pick you apart.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Sean, I think my matchup of the game to watch for me personally is, I think Jalen Johnson's probably going to be locked in on A.J. Brown. So it's probably going to end up being Nashawn Wright on Devonta Smith. Those speedy receivers have burned the Bears time and time again. We've saw it with the Chris Olave type receivers. The Bears just don't know how to handle those guys. Obviously, it's different with Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson back. But if for somehow, some way, Nashawn Wright gets mashed up against Devonta Smith, that's one that if I were the Bears, I'd keep a very close eye on, and I'd give him some help with Kevin Byard or Jaquan Brisker if possible, because, man, I like Nashawn Wright, guys. I like what he's done with the Bears, but as much as he's great at turning the ball over, forcing turnovers, he gives up some massive plays, and Devonta Smith turns those into touchdowns.
Yeah, but my other one, and I touched on this a little bit earlier, it's just the linebackers and safeties versus Dallas Goedert, man. Last week, yet again, the Bears, the Steelers, 8 targets, 8 catches for 62 and a touchdown. We struggle against tight ends, 85 targets, 72 receptions, 646 yards. We're giving up 9 yards a catch. It did drop a yard last week. We've also given up 5 touchdowns. To me, when Dallas Goedert is injured and not in this offense struggles a lot. I know as a whole it struggled, but you go look at the box scores when they score their most points. Usually Dallas Goedert's had the ball in his hands a bunch of times. Philadelphia, unlike I thought last week, Pittsburgh would exploit that a lot more. I thought you'd have 12 to 15 targets over the middle for the Chicago Bears. The Steelers decided to attack the flats, which made no sense to me.
What's up, Notorious?
I think that the Eagles today will, if they see that, will exploit it. This is a championship coaching staff, a championship roster. They find that weakness. It's going to be a very big day for Dallas Goedert. Wouldn't be the first time that a tight end crushed the Bears.
Yeah, and it might not be the worst thing in the world, Sean. Like, I'm not saying you want Dallas Goedert to go off for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, but if Dallas Goedert has 86 yards and a touchdown and they have to slowly, methodically move down the field with short passes to their tight end, I mean, maybe like Vernon said, you said it earlier, Sean, this is bend don't break mentality. If the Bears, if they gave up a touchdown to, like, we've seen them struggle against tight ends and they still manage to win the game because they're just not giving up those huge plays to guys like Jamar Chase or AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. If that's the case and they have to slowly, methodically move down the field and Dallas Goedert has 8 or 9, 10 catches like Jake Ferguson did against the Bears, it might not be the worst thing in the world. But I mean, yeah, at some point, you have to stop them on 3rd down. So the Bears have to find a way to get this team to 3rd and long. And that's where the Bears have been, their defense has played its best because the secondary is the best part of this team if they're healthy. And I like what breaking news Bruce here says, guys. So CJ Gardner-Johnson have a great game against his former team. So he's predicting kind of a revenge game for
a couple
CJ.
Eagles, a couple former Eagles on this Bears squad.
DeAndre and CJ, yeah.
My second matchup to watch, and I think it's the one that's most important, man. And we can talk about Caleb and his completion percentage and being more accurate. And I think this will be the biggest game of Ben Johnson's career.
Ben Johnson versus Fangio?
He's about to play Vic Fangio.
I think it is.
This is
even before it's played, I think it already is. I mean, the Bears are 8-3. If they go 9-3 and beat the Eagles.
This is a game where it's important that your offensive coordinator can scheme people open because this defense does not often give that. They don't. The separation with this defense is not good. It's very hard for receivers to separate from these guys. Ben Johnson's going to have to draw it up that way, man. And he's going to have to do some, where Caleb was catching touchdowns. I could think that was against the Bengals in order to get in the end zone because they were so stagnant once they got in the red zone. If he's got to do some things, get creative to get the ball in the end zone, he's going to have to. And I think that Vic Fangio, Ben Johnson matchup, man, could determine who wins this football game. Can Ben just get so far into Vic's head? Can he get behind him where Vic just doesn't have an answer for him? Because we know Ben Johnson's capable of that. I mean, guys, Ben Johnson's like a football player. That's the impact that he has. He can take over a game where the defense just doesn't have an answer for him.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that Ben Johnson today. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think you're going to see some trick plays today.
Yeah, and the one thing that's a little concerning is obviously we saw a tremendous performance last week from Luke Newman, 20 snaps. He looked really good. Wasn't as better in the run game than he was in pass pro, but he wasn't terrible. If there's an injury that goes down, I mean, on that line, we're looking at Ryan Bates is the first guy off the bench. I don't know how I feel about that against Philadelphia, to be honest with you.
Yeah, do you know that if
Well, it could be Chrono Magaji now, Sean.
Do you know that if Drew Dahlman gets injured, we don't actually have a backup center?
Well, I thought that was supposed to be Luke Newman.
Yeah, that would be Luke Newman.
That's what I mean. He's on IR. Like we don't have a player to replace.
Well, Ryan Bates would be.
It would be Ryan Bates, who is not a center. We've discovered that. We found that out.
He's not on IR, is he?
Luke Newman is on IR. Yes.
Oh, he went on IR.
He went on IR to make roster space for Kyler Gordon.
Man, the Bears can't keep guys off IR, man. Jesus. Yeah, every injury they have is a 5-week injury.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous, man. I'll be honest. Offensive line has to get through this game intact because I honestly believe one injury on this offensive line. I think the depth, the injuries for the depth of that offensive line.
I saw that Benedette was on the injury report. Is Ozzie starting?
I have not heard. I was actually tracking Brad.
I don't think they're going to tell anybody.
Yeah, I was tracking Brad Biggs this morning
Kyle, do you guys think that we're not going to hear about Theo Benedette injuries because Trapillo's the starter? That's it.
I don't.
Do we think Trapillo's just going to start?
I like what CTS
no matter what.
The health CTI says Montez has to get after the QB today.
Absolutely.
That's another
I
good
put Montez
matchup
Sweat
to
on the
watch.
thumbnail. I thought we should have talked about Montez. So Montez Sweat is going to be huge in this football game. He is currently the only Bear that's actually getting sacks. There are some guys generating pressure, but if you can get home to Jalen Hurts, guys, the mistakes increase.
That's Kyler Gordon and Gardner Johnson will also get after the quarterback as well. And he has
If you can force Jalen Hurts can fumble the ball like any quarterback can if you're getting in the backfield.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, man, we got some guys stepping up. We've seen what Nashawn Wright can do. We got this guy, Montez Sweat. He's living up to his deal. He's headed towards double-digit sack season, something we said we needed to see. And the thing that's great about that is if you actually go back, and I know people, I read some stuff on Twitter this past week. It says, time to have a conversation about Austin Booker. Austin Booker last week actually had a 13.1% pressure rate. He led the Chicago
maybe
Bears.
at the end of the year.
Yeah, dude, he led the Bears in pressure rate last week. He just didn't get home. If he keeps doing that, he will get home.
Well, plus, you guys, if
he hasn't played 500 snaps in the NFL.
If he's doing that, he's creating sacks for other people, man. Like if he's rushing a quarterback and the quarterback has to get out of the pocket and move around, he's creating sacks for Montez.
He's flushing him right into Montez Sweat's arms.
Necessarily have to get a sack for him to have a good game. I mean, it would be nice, but if he's constantly disrupting the timing of the offense, if Austin Booker is like a force to be reckoned with and continues to push Jalen Hurts out to the right side where Montez Sweat is laying in wait, then I'm all for it, man. If Austin Booker is creating pressures, that's for a guy who's playing his first real full season in the NFL. I think Austin Booker's looked pretty damn good, to be honest with you.
How disagreeable is it's time to talk about Austin? But not really, man. Maybe in like a year from now, in like 6 months, like by the end of this season, if you were to say to me, now it's time to talk about Booker, I'd still be like, I want to see what he comes out next season with. But this is not the time to talk about Austin Booker. That kid's played barely any football. He was a project player when he was drafted. He's got less than 500 snaps in a 2-year career. This guy has not played football. It's not time to evaluate anything with Austin Booker. There's a guy on the team that deserves more time. It's Austin Booker.
Yeah, Notorious, we talked about this earlier in the show. I agree with you 100%, man. He says, I'd rather contain Jalen and not allow him to QB sneaks than a big sack game, to be honest. Too often we flush these mobile quarterbacks out of the pocket. They rip off 20-yard runs. Yeah, 100%, man. If the Bears allow Jalen Hurts to run in this game, it's going to be a long day for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's usually what starts. That jump starts the Eagles' offense. It always does.
Yeah, but would you guys agree or disagree? Kyle, you can complete the last name for me. DeMarco Jackson and Amen
Ogbongbemija.
They both showed a lot of athleticism last week, getting north to south and east to west. So maybe these guys are a little bit better than we're giving them credit for. Maybe those two guys alone will be able to slow down Jalen Hurts just enough. I don't want to sell the Bears short. Because I trust this coaching staff.
What do you guys think about this comment right here? Paul says, I want to win today, but beating them today and losing to the Eagles in the playoffs would hurt me more.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
What if we just beat them twice, Paul?
Yeah, I don't feel like winning. I know that a team can lose and then kind of get a fire lit under them. I don't know that winning or losing one game affects the next, man. I hope not. That's not how any team should approach it. If the Bears lose this game, they better fucking forget about it and move on to the Packers.
There's been seasons where teams have beaten teams 3 times.
Hey, listen, if you lose this game, you look at the tape and you move on because you're playing for the division next week. Yeah. So
it's important to have a short memory here.
Yeah, you know what? Just feel good about yourself, right? Like, listen, I know that there's no moral victories, but I mean, if the Bears
moral victories.
If the Bears come out here and get absolutely squashed and it's like 42-20, then they're not going to feel good about it. If the Bears come out here and they fight their hearts off and they play their asses off and they end up being on the short end of the stick, they end up losing at the last minute on a field goal by the Eagles. I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of in any way, shape, or form. We talked about it. This is a championship caliber team. They know if the one thing this team is good at, when you look at the stats, it tells you the Eagles stats are all over the place. It's like they're 22nd in passing yards allowed a game. They're 18th in rushing yards allowed a game. They're 26th in passing yards a game on offense. But the one thing that Eagles know how to do is win the football game. They know how to do that. They know how to finish.
I will say this. Before we move on to our prediction, before we do that, hold on. Before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to tell you guys because next week at River Street Tavern, we are back and we are live as the Bears and that team from up north will battle for the division. Next week, come join us. Half-price wings, $3 cores, and Miller Lite Tall Boys. We're going to broadcast live from there. We got some amazing autographs to give you. I got, obviously, Colston Loveland, everyone's favorite pick. We got a Packers socks coming from our boy Dan Hampton, the Sack King. We got an autographed helmet that is on the way from Dan Hampton that was so nicely donated for this festivities. And we also have one of my favorite Chicago Bears of all time, Lance Briggs auto. Of course, all certified, and we'll have the 50-50 raffle. So someone might spend $100, but walk out with a couple extra $100 in their pocket when we split that pot up. So don't forget, next week, River Street Tavern, the Bears battle the team up north for the division. Get there. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a blast.
I like this post, Ben Notorious, guys. Can we take another second to appreciate Jonah Jackson is just an
I think he's
fucking
I think he's talking about the linebacker, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, I know Jonah Jackson left that game and came back, but my God, dude, that guy has. I mean, Ben Johnson seeked that guy out. We went and traded for that guy who was on a bench. I mean, it looked like his career was on its way. The trajectory wasn't good. He has really turned into a
The Bears' whole
player
How
for this
much do
football
you
team.
give to Dan Rochar, man? I mean,
Dude, outside of the left
Oh,
tackle spot,
of
the
course,
Bears'
yeah.
whole
And like I
offensive
said,
line
he's made
deserves
this
an
a
A+.
unit, which
Bears'
players
whole-
look
you
better
guys-
individually when they're all a unit.
Did you guys see their rankings on I think, I don't know if it was Pro Football Focus put it together, or it might have been somebody else, but they had Darnell Wright number 2 tackle in all football. They had Jonah Jackson as the number 4 guard in football. Drew Dalman was number 3 center, and Joe Tooney was the number 6 guard in all football. So outside of that left tackle spot, the Bears' whole line deserves an A++ this year. And Notorious Burn, he follows it up with both Jacksons. Honestly, Jonah has beaten expectations as well.
Thanks for digging me out of there.
Yeah, but DeMarco with the 15 tackles last week, like Mikey brings it up right here. I mean, what an absolute phenomenal game for DeMarco Jackson. And you guys, it's not just Dan Rocher, it's the whole coaching staff. It seems like the next man up mentality for the Bears is it's not just next man up. These guys come in and they succeed. They look really good. Like DeMarco looks like he should be starting in the NFL. We didn't even know who that was before.
Tackles is
Nobody knew DeMarco Jackson was before.
I'm very careful with that statistic.
All right, Sean, let's get into these predictions, man.
who wants to go first, man? I can go first. I don't care.
Go ahead, Sean.
Sean's
well,
gonna be sad.
We kind of went this. We kind of went over this, man. The Bears are 1-3 when forcing 1 or fewer turnovers, man. Without takeaways, the defense struggles. Ranks 31st in EPA per play on non-turnover plays. On the plus side, the Bears are 6-0 when scoring 25 or more points, and the Eagles are allowing 20 points on the season. And a stat we didn't get a chance to talk about is Jalen Hurts thrives in man coverage. He only trails Jared Goff in DVOA against man coverage, a scheme that the Bears run at a top 10 rate in the NFL this season. So, man, I know the Bears are hot. We're riding a winning streak. Moving in here. This is our first matchup against the top 10 DVOA team since week 2 against Detroit. We lost 52-21. I think the Bears are a little bit of a better football team from them. The metrics do heavily favor Philadelphia. I'm going to go with the coaching staff putting together a good game plan. The Bears players stepping up in a tough ball game on the road in Philadelphia, 1 week ahead of the Bears playing for the division. But unfortunately, I'm going to stick to my early guns. I'm going to take Philadelphia 27, the Bears 23. Bears Nation, I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I hope the Bears come out and upset Philadelphia in Philadelphia. I just can't see it on paper or on the surface at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I think you guys probably already know how I'm leaning this game. I think something I've been hearing the Bears talk about a lot this week, so it seems to be kind of mad. I don't think it's mattered to them so much up until this point, but it seems to now. We heard C.J. Gardner-Johnson say, I'm glad Jalen's back, and I'm glad we can finally shut people up and show them that we can defend against a good receiving core. The Bears want this game badly. This is a statement game for the Bears. Nobody believes at 8-3 that this Bears team is still a good football team. I'll tell you that right now. The national media thinks that, yes, they could even win this division and still be a first-round elimination in the playoffs. I think The Bears want to make people think that they're real. This is it. This is the game that the Bears win to say, stop talking about the opponents we play and start talking about the way we play. The Bears want this game. They want this game badly. I did mention to you guys earlier as well. The Eagles have won every game this season by one score or less, besides the one against the Giants. I think that's huge. That does play in the Bears' favor as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm going Bears 17-16 in this game.
Wow, 17-16. Yeah, it sucks, guys. I obviously I hope I'm wrong, but ultimately I'm going to take that. The Eagles, if you just look at the two teams on paper, the Eagles are a better team than the Chicago Bears. They're further along in the process. I think Ben Johnson ultimately will end up being a better coach, but at this point, I think the Eagles are just a little step ahead in the process. The Eagles are a championship caliber team. They know how to win. They're at home. That doesn't help the Bears in any way, shape, or form. I think it's going to be a close game. I know a lot of people were in the chat, and I know Dustin and people in the chat were saying that it's going to be like you have Camel Toe Inspector saying it's going to be 35-12 Eagles. I don't think it's going to be that big of a beating. I think the Bears are a better football team than people give them credit
And
for.
the
I think
Eagles
Ben
play
Johnson is doing a
down,
really
man.
good job
The
with this team.
Eagles play down.
I'm going to
Camel
go.
toe.
I'm going to go Bears 21, Eagles 26. That's going to be my final score. 21-26 Eagles.
I said on the show last week, it's worth mentioning, but I went to Camel toe. And you know, Nick had a pretty big a 2-score victory. The Eagles haven't done that this year, guys. Not to anyone. They haven't beaten up anybody. And to be
Yeah,
honest
but
with
they're
you,
9-2, Brennan. So it doesn't matter.
they are, they're
They're
finding
9-2.
ways to win. They're doing exactly what the Bears are doing when they find a way to win. But I'll say this, man, and they don't win like with the ball in their hands in the final drive. They win on defense in the final drive is what they've been doing. But I think it's tough for me to say that this team is going to be able to beat anybody by more than 2 scores because when I watched them play the Packers 2 weeks ago, they couldn't score the football, and then when I watched them play the Cowboys, they couldn't play defense.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, Brandon.
They play to the level of their competition.
Let
That's
me
the
ask you
team
this,
they've
though.
been.
You watched the Packers yesterday and that front seven. That front seven on the Packers really gets after it. And I hate them, and I'll hate Jerry Jones for the rest of my life for trading Michael Parsons to the Packers. But they get after it. That's something the Bears just have a struggle with. And much like Jordan Love yesterday in the Detroit Lions, if they allow Jalen Hurts to sit back there today and they don't get enough pressure, he will pick the Bears apart today.
That's why I put the guy on the thumbnail that I put on the thumbnail. I mean, Montez Sweat is having a good year, guys, and we've been praising him for it, but it can't stop now. He gets paid $100 million. There's a lot of time, a lot of football left.
This is also one of the best offensive lines in all football, man. So it's a little bit tougher. Like they don't allow
missing one of the best tackles in all of football.
Jalen Hurts doesn't get sacked a lot. It's not like if the Bears can't sack him, then they're a terrible football team, and everybody else is like. They're not a lot of teams can beat up the Eagles' offensive line. It's one of the best in the NFL. And I see people in the chat here are like, the Bears match up with the Eagles on paper. The Bears are the same trajectory as the Eagles. Yeah, but the Eagles have been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years and won one of them against the great Kansas City Chiefs, who have won 3 in the last 6. I mean, listen, this Eagles team is ahead of the Chicago Bears. I'm not saying the Bears can't win this game. They can, but they have to play perfect football, and the Eagles have to play a pretty poor game. The Eagles have the best offensive line in football. They have a damn good receiving core. They have one of the best linebacking cores in football. They have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis in the middle of the defensive line. Their secondary is good. The Eagles don't have any glaring holes. Sean's talked about it. Dallas Goedert's one of the most consistent tight ends in football. Their special teams is played sound. They have a good coaching staff. This team right now is just a little bit ahead of the Bears. That doesn't mean the Bears can't beat them. Crazier things have happened. We've seen good teams lose to bad teams. We've seen it. It happens all the time. The NFL that's what the great thing about the NFL is. The parity is you never know what's going to happen any given Sunday, right? But if you had to look at these two teams on paper and the matchup in the Eagles' house, unless you're just a biased Bears fan, if you look at the team in totality, both teams in totality, especially with how banged up the Bears are in the linebacking core, right now the Eagles are just a step ahead of the Chicago Bears. They're a little bit better. If Ben Johnson can somehow scheme up a way to beat this team, this championship caliber football team, I'm all for it. But
yeah, me too.
I'm
and
taking the Eagles.
Kyle, I'm with you. I think I would probably have 27-23 if the Bears were in Chicago. But the numbers in Philadelphia, dude, straight up against 500 teams, Jalen Hurts is 19-0 at Lincoln Financial Field. You can't ignore that stat. You just can't. Not below 500. He's 19-0 against teams over 500 at home. That is an insane stat, guys. So
yeah, and if the Bears can be the first team to change that, Sean, like what do they say? They say trends and
trends are made to be
patterns.
broken.
They're
Sure.
meant to be broken, right? And hopefully the Bears can do that. But right now, with the Bears' offense is at throwing the
No,
Caleb
and I want to
Williams throwing
clarify,
around
man.
50,
My
60%
prediction,
50%. You got to be better than that to beat the Eagles.
my prediction is not based on the Bears and bias. It's just based on this Eagles team. When I chose them to win this game before the season started, was the Eagles team that I watched last year, which is not the Eagles team I'm watching this year. Saquon Barkley's, probably the most disappointing player in the NFL this season.
Oh,
And
100%.
so I would say
I kinda
Eagles
called that at the
team to
beginning of the year.
me, this Eagles team to me does not look like the powerhouse they were last season. They look like a team that plays to their competition. It's
To be
just what
honest
I've
with you,
seen.
learn Superior Vidir. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I mean, I saw your bet, but I don't know
And
who the
yes,
GOAT
Kyle,
is.
they have a
I
winning
don't know
record,
what you're
but
talking
I
about.
think
the
he's.
wins
I
aren't
think
looking
he's. I think
any.
he's talking about me. I think he's
Why are
talking
you
about
GOAT?
me.
How did
I
you
have
become
no
GOAT?
idea. He called me a
What am I-
goat on
put it up.
Monday.
How are we supposed to make that connection without an explanation?
Well,
I don't know, man.
because
I
he
don't get to
doesn't
see
like
it.
that
Put it
I
up.
speak. I speak both ways, and I can talk about the good and the bad. And the Bears are good; they're also bad. And for what you're saying here, I never said, Laren, that this was 100% confidence the Bears couldn't win this game. I picked the Eagles to win by 4, which means anything can happen in this football game that the Bears can upset them. I don't think it's impossible. I just said it's
I
not
think we
likely.
all three know the reality is that any team could
Thank
win
you.
this football game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the
You
Bears could
just
win
pick.
this game.
You base your prediction
And Brennan,
based on what you've seen.
you're like you're talking about I'm watching the Eagles and I'm not that impressed. I mean, I can tell you this right now for a fact, Brennan. Eagles fans watching the Chicago Bears on national television are not going, man, this Bears team is the best team in football.
Nobody
They're
thinks
not
the Bears
super
are.
impressed
Nobody thinks the
either.
Bears are a
If they
legitimate
were, they
football
wouldn't
team.
be 7-point underdogs in Philadelphia
Yeah,
today.
nobody's thinking this Bears team is any better than the teams they've beaten.
Yeah, which
That's-
is the Giants and the Saints and the Bengals.
Yeah, this
and
is
the
a strength of
Steelers
schedule.
and
This
the
is a strength
Cowboys.
of opponent team. This is not a team that people think is good. This is a team that they think has had a pretty cake schedule.
Can the Bears
And I
win this
think the
game?
Bears,
Absolutely. Will
I
they?
think Ben
don't think so.
Johnson and the Bears very much want to send a message today that they're not the shitty team that beats shitty teams but loses when they play any quality opponents. I think they want to make a statement today. We can beat anybody. I think that's the Bears' goal.
Look,
All right, but
I want the Bears
you
to
can
win this
continue to
game.
say that the Eagles are not that good, but they're 9-2.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no,
At the end of the day, you are what
this
your
claim,
record says
I
you
had to
are. If
defend
you're
this claim
9-2,
last
then
week.
you're a good football team in the NFL. I mean, if you can
Yeah.
win 9 of 11
talent is
games in the
unquestionable.
National Football League, then you're a good football team.
They're loaded at every position.
Their
Their talent
from
is undeniable.
yeah, their talent from top to bottom. Here, I'll be honest with you.
Name a
And
position that the
they're-
Eagles need to get
we-
substantially
We've
better.
talked about this. I think one of their biggest downfalls, and I know he's a Super Bowl champion, is Nick Sirianni. This guy has made some really,
agree.
really questionable
I
calls
agree.
throughout this
I think they're a
season.
better team with a better coach. For sure. I agree. I've never
So,
liked that
guys,
guy, but I'm biased.
I would love to be wrong. I would love for the Bears, but if I come on here every single podcast, every single show, and say the Bears are going to win, 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 then that just makes me a biased Bears fan. Like the Bears are going to lose games, guys. It's
Well,
from
the
time
Bears
to
are going
time
to lose.
Bears are
The
going
Bears
through
are going. The Bears are going to lose
So
next
like
week.
Learn and all these people in the chat who always pick the Bears. Are you going to pick the Bears against the Packers twice, against the Eagle, or against the Lions, against the 49ers? If you just eventually they're going to lose a game, so you're going to be wrong at some point. Well,
I think
this
they're
is the
gonna
game
lose
I'm
next
picking them to
week for
lose
sure.
because I
I
think of
hate
all
to
the teams
say
on their schedule, the Eagles are the most consistent team at winning football games. They know how to finish. That's what the Eagles have become. They become a team that knows how to finish. They're well coached. They know how to keep themselves in the game, and they're good at exploiting flaws. If the Bears have struggled against anything against the Eagles, anything at all, if Jalen Hurts is running the ball and he's finding success running the ball, they're going to continue to do that against the Bears over and over and over again. And I'm telling you guys right now, before Jackson Dart left that game against the Giants and got hurt, he looked like he was about to pound the ball down the Chicago Bears'
He
throat.
was
Russell
looking
Wilson is
pretty
not
good,
Jackson
man.
Dart. He's not. He's a mobile quarterback. Jackson Dart was running the ball at will until the Bears concussed him. Maybe the Bears can concuss Jalen Hurts. I don't know. If they don't, they're in trouble.
Kyler Gordon playing in that Giants thing would have made a difference.
And Brandon, this is why I'm saying too, man. This is why I think the Bears could keep it close. I think the additions of Kyler Gordon.
Yeah, I mean,
Kyler Gordon's not going to let Jalen Hurts run around.
I'm just really, I'm just, there's not enough out there telling me, any confirmation these guys are playing full games, they're going to be limited. I heard limited earlier in the week, but I haven't really seen much since. So I don't know what to expect.
I gotta say this. I gotta say this to the people.
Sorry, Les. 8-3. They've won
they
8
are
games.
8-3.
Yeah, so are
To
the
the
Bears.
people, I gotta say this.
People to be like, the Bears are so much better than the Eagles. Explain how. They have the same record. The Eagles have a better roster.
It makes sense. It makes sense to pick the Super Bowl defending champs to win against the team that's figuring their shit out. It does. It makes sense. It makes sense to choose the team that doesn't lose at home against the team that's on the road. What doesn't make sense to me, guys, and it won't. And I respect everybody's score predictions. Nick, Dustin, everybody here in the chat. To say that the Eagles hammer anybody is based on nothing. They haven't done it this season. They don't play better than the competition they're playing against. They just don't. They haven't hammered anyone. They have left every team that they've played this season in the game at the end. That's what the Eagles have done. They have won games just like the Bears. They're squeaking them out. They're winning one score games because, Kyle, you're right. They're better coached and they've got, they've been this thing's been together for a long time.
Super Bowl hangover. They're 8-3.
But I don't
I hope you get those.
I don't know
man.
that I see unless the Eagles play like the Saints.
My favorite kind of.
I'm not going to choose the Eagles to beat anybody by
first in your division.
20 plus anything.
Here and again, back to here. No one's making excuses, man. Like if the Bears, I think the Bears have a chance to win. I said I don't 100%. Think it's probable.
We've all said that. We all said that at the beginning of the show. The Bears can't. If the Bears play a perfect game,
well, the reality is we can't. We're not going. You guys aren't going to tune in every week to watch us pick the Bears.
They haven't played. What game this year have the Bears played a perfect game?
They're going to lose next week.
If the Bears make plays like every week, Caleb gets sacked in his own end zone and drops the ball, and the Eagles score a touchdown. The more of the stuff that stuff that happens in this game, this is just an opponent that's going to be tougher to come back against. The Eagles' defense is absolutely phenomenal. They have all stars and all pros in every single position on the field. You guys, they have Mitchell and DeJean in the backfield. Their linebacking core. Do I even need to talk about it? The best
all
linebacker
four are better than ours.
They have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis on the defensive line. I mean, there's just this Eagles defense. The roster is impressive. If you look, their drafts have been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, have they spent anything less than a first round pick on a linebacker?
They haven't even put Jahad Campbell into the lineup yet.
No,
this was the best linebacker. Yeah,
Jahad Campbell plays tons. He's leading rookies in tackles.
He's not their middle linebacker yet, Brendan. He's going to be next year. He's going to be the middle linebacker.
But guys, Jahad Campbell, Nolan Smith, Nakobe Dean, and Zach Bond. Are any of these guys? Zach Bond might be. The other three are first round picks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith, and Jahad Campbell are first round players.
Yeah, and Zach Bond.
And Bond was like a third round pick or something.
He was. He wasn't. Was he drafted by the Eagles or did he sign with the Eagles?
I think he was drafted. I think he was drafted by. I think he was like a third round pick. I don't think he was. He wasn't like a first round.
I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, nobody ever said Caleb was bad at ball protection. I said it was a bad play, and you can't have plays like that. It seemed like the interception against Baltimore that basically ended the game. He can't have those plays against the Eagles. The Eagles will take advantage of those plays. If he has those plays, the Eagles are going to beat you. They're a damn good, fundamentally sound football team. That's how they are. That's how the Eagles play. They don't make a lot of mistakes. That's who the Eagles are.
It's not an Eagles podcast, but I mean, it's like you guys can't take away and say,
like if the Bears to lose by 1 point and have a good game, but like, hey man, there's nothing to be ashamed of losing in a championship.
Yeah, you make your excuses.
No. People are like, oh my god, these guys hate the Bears. They're all they do. They just
no. I don't think that's anybody's.
Like, guys, come on.
Learn thinks we hate the Bears.
I do think Caleb will take care of the ball. Learn.
I don't think it's impossible that the Chicago Bears can win this football game. I just said I don't think it's probable.
I don't think it's anything's impossible.
Lincoln Financial Field. You guys Google it, look it up. Jalen Hurts 19-0 against teams over 500 straight up at the fucking stadium, dude. That's can't be ignored. He's 15-16 against the spread in his last 16 games, which means what did the Eagles do at home? They win football games. They defend their den. I don't know what to say. I want the Bears to win this game more than I want anything else. That would make my Thanksgiving 100%.
Week. It would be the best win of the Bears season by far, by like literally miles. If they beat the Philadelphia Eagles in their house, this would be by far the best win the Bears have had, probably in the last 10 years, guys. But I've looked at this game 100 different ways. I just don't, unless, like I said, unless the Bears play a perfect game and the Eagles play a flawed game where they make a ton of mistakes, then the Bears could beat them. But if you look at these two teams on paper in Philadelphia's house, where Sean just said they're now 19-0 against teams above 500 since Jalen Hurts has started for the
What the
Eagles.
hell is going on here, Chad?
Why would you not pick the Eagles?
I chose the Bears. What the fuck is going on? I'm getting flack. I chose the Bears.
I am not
17-16.
picking the Green Bay Packers to beat the Bears next week. That ain't gonna happen. But
I think that's where the Bears might
Yeah,
stall.
you guys, the Chicago Bears and Philadelphia Eagles have the same record, and Vegas has the Eagles as a 7-point favorite, not 2.5, not 3.5, not 4, a touchdown. That's
Records are meant to be
astronomical.
broken, though. Jalen Hurts has not lost at home against the 500 team.
I'm praying to God. I'm praying to God. I'm praying to God. I want the Bears to win this game more than I want anything on this Friday.
I would love to be wrong about my score prediction.
100%.
I want the Bears to win 58-0. That's what I want.
Here, and I'll tell you this right now.
I think this is an ugly
the Bears are
game.
facing a top 10 DVOA defense. They're 0-1 and lost by 30 points the last time they did. Have they improved? We're about to find out. But I'm just not going to go into this blindly and say, hey, they've just played 6 of the worst defenses in football, and they had struggles against them too. It's not like it was all perfect and the Bears were just a well-oiled machine. And you're playing the world champions who don't really have weaknesses on defensive side. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. Please. I want it more than anything else. You'll hear me screaming from whatever bar I'm about to be at in an hour and a half.
Are you going out?
We were thinking about going up to the barbecue joint for the ball game. I pitched River Street, but that TV needs to get fixed.
Yeah, nice, Sean. Nice. Nice. You guys don't worry about the TV. It'll be fixed.
It will be fixed. It will be
call.
fixed. I am coming in to fix it with the owner next week. But yeah, it's just there's more to it. I'll tell you.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you guys.
TV is good.
Have you guys ever seen Brandon Bias in here?
No.
Hey, what's going
I'm
on?
sure
Brandon?
I feel about it.
He says,
what's going on, Brandon?
He says Eagles have more pressure on them.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yep. And you know what, man? The narrative that is this Bears season, I think, is means just as much to these players as it has us as fans, guys. And I do think the Bears really. I mean, if Ben Johnson's the coach that I believe him to be, teams like this during games like this is a statement game for this team. They want to come out and win this game to shut C.J. Gardner Johnson said it out of his mouth. We want to shut them all up. We want them shut them the hell up. It's time for everybody to shut up. That's what C.J. Gardner said.
And if the Bears win this game,
the Bears have that mentality coming into this.
If the Bears win this game, they are moving into a different echelon in the NFL. If they go in the Eagles' house and beat them,
they're the NFC team to beat if they
and
win this football game.
Well, the Rams would probably still be the team to beat, but yeah, pretty damn close. They'd be in that echelon with the Rams for sure. And if the Bears win this game, it's a totally different conversation about the Chicago Bears. You're talking about a team that could win the Super Bowl, 100%. But if the Bears continue to barely beat teams with losing records, the Giants were 2-6 when they came into that.
I am with Mikey.
And we had to come back by 2 scores in the fourth quarter to beat them. If they play like that, they're not in the echelon of the Rams. They're not.
Yeah, you know what I think makes it hard for me to say that the Bears come in this game is just their lack of consistency. Being consistently,
they have flashes where they look really good, and they have flashes where you're like, "What? This is not the Bears team I saw in the second quarter. What happened?"
And everyone can talk about the Eagles' struggles. They're finding ways to win those games too.
I do want to say this. I agree with Mikey.
And they've been doing it for longer.
Something that's been kind of overlooked, or not overlooked, but understated. I do think the Bears do take the ball away a few times in this football game, guys. I know the Eagles don't.
Make Jalen pass.
I know the Eagles don't give the ball away, but the Bears just find a way to take it from even players that secure it. The Bears have forced fumbles and interceptions from players this year that just haven't been giving them up.
Hey, Lauren, you have to look at more than just the record, bro.
Even the backup QBs the Bears are taking the ball from aren't really throwing interceptions.
At the end of the day, you are what your record says you are. I mean, the Bears are a good football team. I just don't think they're great. I don't think they're a great football team. I think they're a good football team. The Eagles have been to the Super Bowl twice in the last 3 years. They're a great football team. If they win the Super Bowl this year, you're talking about dynasty.
I don't look and see a top 10 quarterback in our last 6 games on the schedule.
Well, I don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback.
Just not a top 15 quarterback.
The best quarterback that the Bears have faced since Jared Goff.
That's not a top 15 quarterback on that list.
Exactly. This is a
That
stellar.
might not even. Yeah, I don't even know. Jackson
there's a
Dart
top
might have
20
been like
quarterback in there.
20th when he got injured. I don't know that there's a top 20 in there.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I want nothing more than the Bears to win. Me predicting the Bears to not win this game isn't me saying I want the Bears to lose this game. So
Sean wants Bears to lose.
I want to be wrong.
Sean hates
Thank
the
you,
Bears.
Brendan.
Sean's a big
Yeah.
Bears hater.
Yeah,
Sean-
I'm the
Sean
goat. I'm the
despises
goat.
Bears.
We're changing this to the Eagles podcast next week.
Yeah, we're gonna change it to the Eagles podcast. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, if I just came on here every single show and I said the Bears are going to win, 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 that's
And the
thinking
Bears
with
win the
that's
Super
thinking
Bowl.
with your heart, not your brain, man. You got to look at the competition. You got to look at the statistics. You got to look at the metrics. Got to look at what, like Sean said, Caleb's not good against
Look at where your team
zone
is.
coverage. The Eagles play zone coverage with some of the best
And it's
secondary, one of the best
development.
secondaries in all football. You guys, everybody in the chat keeps telling me that the Eagles, you can't run on the Eagles. The Bears need the run game to open up the pass game, the play action. They absolutely rely on that. That's what they've done for the last 6 weeks. They've had a really good run game. I mean, if like Sean said earlier in the show.
Thank you, Shy Tex. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, like I said earlier in the show, their strengths are.
And it's so funny we're even having this conversation, guys. If you go look at 85% of anybody who's projected this game, whether it be betting apps, analysts, former players, fans, 85% of people are choosing the Philadelphia Eagles. This podcast is not unique in that.
Sean, did you pick the
Eagles were more likely to win this football game?
The Steelers to win. I picked the Bears to win 27. Actually, I nailed the score. If you go back and watch last pregame, I picked the Bears to win 31-28. Go watch the show last week. So
yeah,
I haven't.
That's a pretty damn good prediction.
Yeah,
What did they? That was the score, right?
Listen, I have not predicted the Bears to lose since their game against the Lions. I've predicted the Bears to win every single game. I picked them to win the home opener against Minnesota. I picked them to lose to Detroit, and I have not picked the Bears to lose since. I'm picking them to lose to the world champions in Lincoln Financial Field.
And we projected they would beat Tyler Huntley, which they should have.
Yes. So I lost $250 on the Bears money line. I put money on the Bears beating Tyler Huntley, Mr. I don't pick the Bears to win.
I do want to relay. I did choose the Bears 17. Like I picked the Bears.
He's talking to you, Kyle.
We're getting a bunch of this is an Eagles pod. Like, I did pick the Bears to win this game against all odds.
You
Literally.
did.
I didn't pick the Steelers game. I wasn't on the show. I was sick last week. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't here last week, bro.
Here.
I never gave a Steelers prediction.
Here, I'm going to tell you this. Everyone on CHGO that just picked against the Bears, they're Packers fans. They should
bunch of animals.
Yeah, go back to
I don't know, man. I don't want to sit here and have a
no, it's all right. They're giving us shit, deservedly so.
I hope the Bears
appreciate
win
it, guys.
with everything.
I want the Bears to win this
I hope
game.
the Bears
Jesus.
beat the Eagles because I think the Bears beat you. It's a totally different conversation we're having if the Bears beat the Philadelphia Eagles. But
Good point, Swag.
this is the Bears have done a damn good job. I don't think there's any shame in losing the Eagles in their house, especially on a primetime game where the Eagles are like Brennan said, the Cowboys just won. The Eagles just lost the Cowboys. Now they know, hey man, they're sneaking up on us. We need to. I just think the Eagles right now are a better team. I think it's a better roster than the Chicago Bears. Outside of maybe Caleb Williams and a couple other players here and there, Jalen Johnson, I would take the Eagles roster over the Chicago Bears for sure. And that's not to say I don't love the Bears and love their players, but the Eagles have just done a damn good drafting for the last 3 years, and they have a damn good roster. That's why they won the Super Bowl.
It would take a flawless performance by the Bears and a mistake-riddled performance by the Eagles.
It's not impossible to say
that can happen. That can happen.
Game.
Yeah,
It's also not impossible to say the light turns on for Caleb today, and he plays his best game as an NFL quarterback. It's not impossible to say Montez Sweat has 5 sacks today and has his best game as a professional. That's why they play the games. You don't know what's going to happen.
But if Caleb comes out and throws 70% completion percentage and starts hitting the passes he's been missing over the last 6 weeks, I think he can beat anybody. I honestly believe the Bears offense can outscore anybody.
Which storyline wins?
I haven't seen him do it yet, so until he does it, I just can't assume that's going to happen.
The Eagles have only won one game this year by more than a score, and the Bears have won every one score game they've been a part of. So which storyline is the victor here? The team that allows teams to hang around, or the team that wins when they do?
Yeah, we'll see. There's only one way to find out, right?
And look, man, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I really could give a shit. I want to be wrong. I'm sitting here right now. I want to be wrong. I want the Bears to go out into Philadelphia today and prove me freaking wrong. I would have a Kool-Aid smile on my face until we play the Packers next fucking Sunday. I can tell you that right fucking now. I can tell you that without a doubt. I would be the happiest Bears fan in the freaking world if they could pull this game out today.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I don't know how else I have
Like
to
I said,
say it.
man, this would be their first quality win.
Oh,
And
don't do that. Was somebody just doing that? We discourage that in this chat.
What happened?
Don't do the Bears beat the Cowboys beat the Eagles, so the Bears
No.
don't do that thing. That doesn't work. I wish it
doesn't
did.
work.
If
The
it
Cowboys
did,
are
we'd
a
be a
lot
lot
different
better
team.
at gambling.
The Cowboys are a lot different team since they've acquired Quinlan Williams, man. That defense with him, dude, he
I
had
don't know.
19,
You said that, man. I
he
don't
had
see it.
19 pressures on his whole season with the Jets. His last 3 games with the Cowboys, 21. Quinlan Williams has changed that defense on its head, man.
well, and you also have Matt Eberflus also needed time. I mean, you can't expect him to his first
Eli
week
and I are
of the
playing.
Cowboys to be absolutely.
Yeah, I'm about to
I
go
mean,
watch that right now.
I don't like Matt Eberflus. I think he's one of the shittiest coaches in football, but he's a much better defensive coordinator than he is head coach, and he's definitely gotten those guys playing motivated. Definitely got him playing
Pickens is
motivated.
definitely the guy he was drafted to be in Dallas.
Yeah, the
Pickens
Cowboys are starting to get
so held
Cowboys
back.
are starting to get a little scary.
Yeah.
The last 2
Yeah.
wins are against the Eagles and Chiefs, the 2 Super Bowl
Well, they
teams.
got another big game, dude. They got to play Detroit next week. So
I think it's funny.
plugging away.
Schottenheimer's really starting to impress me. He honestly is.
Mhm.
His response from his football team has been really good. Eberflus is still their biggest fucking problem. Dude.
Yeah, but he's
I don't
got that
think it's
defense
Eberflus.
turned
I think it's
around, man.
lack of talent on the
They
defense.
got Clark and Williams up front now, man. He's getting talented, dude. Like he's getting talented.
All right, but now who's their best
they're
corner?
trading to acquire talent.
Who's their best corner?
On who? Dallas?
Cowboys.
Ugh. Their corners are banged up, I believe.
They're injured, yeah. I
don't
would
think
say a
so.
name, but I don't think either one of them is playing.
They're
Yeah, I
still
don't think
winning.
Bland
And they're still
or
winning.
who's the other
Diggs.
Diggs? I don't think either of them.
Diggs
Are
Diggs
sucks.
is done for the year, I think.
Yeah,
Diggs
Diggs
sucks.
does suck. I don't
Diggs
disagree
sucks,
there.
dude.
Diggs is done, isn't he? I thought he was
Ever since
injured for the
his
season.
first season where Diggs had like the 9 interceptions.
I'm with you, Phil.
He's been absolutely atrocious. Go look at his PFF scores, man. He's been absolutely terrible.
Yeah, Eberflus versus Nagy.
Yeah, Mikey. I don't know if you saw or not, but they were showing Eberflus for like 5 seconds on the screen, and then they switched over to the Eagles sideline, and it was Nagy talking to Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, oh god, just the terrible memories that seeing those 2 guys' faces back to back brings up for Chicago Bears fans.
I have a lot more
Absolutely
respect for Matt
atrocious.
Nagy than I do Matt Eberflus.
I don't think anybody should have any respect for Matt Eberflus because he was the worst coach in the history of football.
No. Matt Nagy
Absolutely
didn't
horrendous.
give away
Terrible.
90% win rates in the fourth quarter.
I mean, look what Ben Johnson's done with basically this. I mean, I guess a better offensive line, but outside of that, Caleb Williams, Robert Dunze, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, it's the same team.
Yeah.
Excluding the offensive line. The offensive line is much improved.
You know, too, the one thing that we didn't touch on here, and I forgot to bring up when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, they are 17th in EPA, and they're dead last in 3-and-out rate. And it's a clear indicator how they struggle to sustain drives and maintain efficiency on the season. And the Bears are one of the best defenses on getting you off the field on third down this year.
Third
So
down,
that
the
could be
Bears are
something that
solid.
plays in the Bears' favor. This is
I think
why I
they're
kept the game
third.
close, man.
Vernon said that. Vernon said that in the beginning of the show. He said the Bears are going to chase the Eagles off the field a couple times in this game. So you just
Well, I
got to
think
score.
especially with
Gotta
Jalen
score.
Johnson and Kyler Gordon, you're going to add a few. I think those guys can listen. You can't do the wins above replacement thing in football, but I do think that Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, will add a few third down stops to.
Well, Vernon, they'll get there. They'll get there. Sooner or later, there's going to be wins above.
Somebody just mentioned Reddy Stewart,
That's-
which is cool because I thought he was playing pretty good for the Cowboys. The
Here,
guy the
and-
Bears,
and
the guy
again-
the Bears let walk away.
What are the Eagles doing good this year?
Everything.
Well, they're winning. They also they're 8th in points allowed per game. You know, it's going to be a challenge for the Bears on all 3 levels.
They're also the most efficient goal line team in the NFL for the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
And
the Bears
here-
The tush
have not
pusher's
been
on-
real
it's not-
efficient there.
It's not stoppable, man. The tush
I
pusher's not
guarantee you,
stoppable.
I guarantee you, they're not sitting there like, oh, this is going to be easy against Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley. I hate to tell you, every defensive coordinator is staying up at night. How do we stop these guys? And I understand They're 193 yards passing. They're 21st in rushing at 110, 17th in scoring at 23.2 points.
Yeah, their offense is not one of the best in
Their
the
offense
league.
isn't, but
Their
at the
defense
same
is
time,
incredible.
their defense is what worries me the most.
Good enough to keep their offense close.
Yeah, when you have Caleb Williams 21st against zone, and that's primarily what they play, you have to say, how does this young quarterback and Ben Johnson overcome that deficiency? That's huge. You just can't overlook that and say, oh, the Bears are better. No, there's metrics and analytics for a reason, guys.
But the Eagles do a lot of things well. They do. They get after the quarterback really well. They're good at fishing on the goal line. They're a team that can. I mean, they can beat you either way. If you Jalen Hurts is a chameleon, man. Jalen Hurts might not be considered an elite NFL passer, one of the best guys in the league.
He's a
winner.
I
will say this:
he's a winner.
When he's forced to throw, he makes the throws.
Yes.
When he's forced to run, he makes the runs. Jalen Hurts does whatever his football team needs from him in order to win a football game, and I don't know that there's anybody in the league that does it better at the position. So you can't take that away from the kid, man. I know a lot of people dog on this guy, like, oh, it's a franchise. He's got a good football team. He never win on another. The guy, when it's required of him, he does it. He's a gangster. And the guy goes sits down in the hallway with a cigar, celebrating in the Super Bowl where everybody else is getting drunk. Jalen Hurts scares me, man. This guy, like, he is a killer, man. The guy's a killer.
He's just a winner, man. He's not great. I don't think he's great at anything in particular, but he's good at everything.
And he does whatever the team says. This is what we need from Jalen today. He's like, that's what I'm going to do my best today. Hey, I can't help but respect him, man.
Let's put a bow on this thing, guys. And this photo was awesome. The Chicago Bears put this out. I just want to put this up there and say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We're thankful for everybody in this chat that participates, that comes to the shows, that have made Four Star Chicago Sports, Four Star Chicago Sports. Whether we agree or disagree, guys, it's competitive banter. I think it's fantastic. You could be right. I could be right. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. That's what makes this so fun. So thank you, guys. Thank everybody. Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for coming out every week, participating in these shows, and having fun with us, because no matter if you think it or not, we have a blast with you all every single week and couldn't appreciate you more than you know. So, boys.
Yeah, I hope the Bears go out there and kill them. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat, man. Mikey, Notorious, Learn, Swaggy, who else? Breaking News, Bruce was here, Laz, Crooked Commish, Notorious. I love the comment, Notorious. He says, I think Jalen Hurts likes the tush push just a little too much. Campbell, Toe Inspector, J2K, all Prophet, all the guys who come here every week. It's Paul Martin,
Dante.
Supports us. We appreciate the hell of you guys, man. Love watching, talking football with you guys. James Christo was in the house. Shannon was in the house. Aunt Mass was in the house. I hope the Bears go out there and beat the shit out of the Eagles, guys. I hope it's 48-0. It should be a good game, at least enjoyable for Bears fans to watch.
Yeah, I want to say, guys, Sean, I thought you related well, but yeah, I mean, it's Thanksgiving. We're thankful for all you guys here, all these guys that keep coming in here, giving us shit, keeping us on our toes, keeping the conversation moving forward, but most importantly, just being loyal and appreciating the content that we try to give you guys, and then obviously being a big part of it as well. And I want to thank Nick. Thanks, Nick, for jumping on with us today, man. It's good to see you as always. Good to get another prediction here, and maybe join us on a bare minimum sometime, me and Dustin, Nick. But
hey, and really quick,
joining us, Dustin and Nick too. Really
quick, 2 predictions we're going to keep an eye on. Relentless Mikey, 2 fumbles recovered by the Chicago Bears, 2 fumble takeaways. And Swaggy McNoleg says Swift outrushes Saquon today. I love it, boys. Let's I'm sure Ben's cooking up a motivational speech. And it sounds
don't you wish you were in that locker room right now?
Right, Tex as well. Thanks for joining the show, man. I forgot to mention him.
I wish I was in that fucking locker room right now.
Me too. Because we'd be hearing something similar too. Good better bet! Never let it rain! Never let it rain! You're gonna get better! You're gonna get better! You better get better! You better get better! Bears on 3! 1, 2, 3! Bears! Let's go! Let's go upset the Eagles!
How can that not get you motivated, man? I want to go play.
Let's go upset the Eagles, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be wrong,
please,
boys
God,
and girls.
Please. Lauren said
just short week for them, just the same for us, man.
Lauren's got the Bears 40-24, guys. That's his prediction.
40-24.
Love y'all. You guys take care of yourselves. So you can take care of each other. Happy Thanksgiving.
And on the way out, learn. I hope you're right, because that will change a lot of things for the Chicago Bears. So until then, hey, we'll see y'all Monday back here for
Phil's got the Bears winning 27-24.
Phil, the Hall hangover. And don't forget, next week for the big showdown, River Street Tavern, TV will be fixed. Promise. Just get out there, Bears Packers. We're gonna throw down. I'm looking for a couple extra big surprises that
What time
I'm
is
not
that
gonna
game?
tell anybody about, that you just have to show up and find out.
That's a 325 game.
325 national broadcast flex. They moved the Bills. I
Yep.
can't remember who the Bills were playing, but they kicked the Bills out of their 325 slot. So
Thank God.
thank
Bears
God.
are getting national attention, man.
Until then, bear down, everybody. Let's go, Bears.